Flash on Rick, the force to be reckoned with him. The story of the Knights of Qatar bodies, where this fight will be taking place. The shades of Solana has sent Yelir to fight Riley in Galaxy 54 on her planet, which is in Florida. After her cat, which is a fox and cheetah and dragon and dolphin and jellyfish hybrid that fights alongside Riley in her battles that she has with any opponent she faces. But with this fight, there are too many risks at hand, and with that, she decides to take on Yelir by herself. Will she be able to defeat Yelir? Well, we shall see as they take their stances and get ready to say on guard, on guard, and get ready to say on guard, on guard, and get ready to say on guard, and get ready to say on guard, on guard, on guard, on guard.
In Caracciolo's ocean, waves crash and roar. Riley charges through, her heart burning like a torch. Her scales shimmer fierce and bright. Yelir stands still, ice in her sight. Riley's power, Yelir's chill. In the deep sea, their clash will thrill. Pressure builds, the water swirls. One will rise, one will fall. It's clear. Beneath the surface, secrets are told. Fierce battles fought where legends are bold. Riley's strength, Yelir's might. A tale of two warriors, night and day's light. Through the storm they dive and swim. Their clash of wills, a tempest in the dim. Ice meets fire, the water churns. Who will win, who will lose, it's not known. In the shadows, the pressure mounts. Riley's eyes, Yelir's frosty thoughts. The ocean roars, the fate is sealed. On the rain, one will be sealed. Riley's power, Yelir's chill. In the deep sea, their clash will thrill. Pressure builds, the water swirls. One will rise, one will fall. It's clear. Their clash will thrill. Pressure builds, the water swirls. Victory's near, the victor's still unclear.
As we see them raise their swords, with the tops of their swords pointing up into the skies of planet Caracciolo, and their tails swimming on top of Caracciolo's ocean, they start clashing their swords and slapping their tails together without breaking the sweat or shedding a tear of exhaustion as Riley, the riled up charcoal, prodigious legendary mermaid warrior, and Yelir, the unriled up chilly, prodigious legendary mermaid warrior, face each other with powers fierce as gigantic waves made of acid water that can disintegrate any knight, any god, any goddess, any character in seconds because of how riled up the pressures within Caracciolo's ocean, as the water on top is hot as lava while the depths are as cold as glaciers. So to balance out this temperature imbalance, they start fighting the middle data in the middle of these temperatures to keep the pressure of the water from erupting and burning them to death. But with their powers being so different, we get the same. The pressure didn't go down, instead it kept going up and up, with both their tops of their skin starting to burn and turn into ashes. When it started, Yelir started to use his powers to freeze his arms and made a big icy sword and slashed at Riley's beautiful hair as it started to freeze. And with Riley seeing this, her heart starts filling up with rage as she transformed into an evil spirit, really actually without her being in control. She starts rushing at Yelir without any concern of how riled up the pressure of the ocean is, and cuts the tail clean off and then starts extending her tail and pouring it about Yelir until it completely ties her up with a big scaly knot. And then she starts pouring infinite rate of 2,000 feet tall and starts to swish her to death. But Yelir wasn't done yet as she transformed into the male version of herself and started to regenerate his tail and made a blade out of his tail and stabbed with all his power and broke through Riley's tail, which made Riley even more furious as she regenerated her tail and then grew up to 5,000 feet tall, and she whacked Yelir with her tail and he was then flying across the planet until he landed on a racetrack and couldn't get up because of his lack of exhaustion. And with Caracciolo seeing that, she decides to spawn in and say, Yelir, you have failed me and now you will be sent to the void too. Yelir calls and said, please give me another chance. And with this, Caracciolo said, no, you will die now. She takes out her staff and calls a beam of light as it shines over Yelir and gets rid of his doppelganger connection to Riley and starts to burn him to ash. But as this is happening, his evil spirit takes control of him and starts to get enraged and starts to attack Caracciolo with her, just dodging his every move as he gets more enraged and starts growing to 5,000 feet tall and whacks Caracciolo with his tail. But Caracciolo takes it full force and does not budge, and with this he yells, I am going to kill you or send you back to your galaxy, whatever comes first. And after this he starts glowing infinitely to 1,000 times bigger than the planet and starts crushing the planet with hateful and unbreakable hands. As Riley saw this and began to get so riled up that she too grew to 9,000 times bigger than the planet and started to fight Yelir in space. And with Caracciolo seeing this, decides to say that my work here is done and makes a portal to go back to to her galaxy, but Yelir sees this and shrinks down to his normal height and starts to attack JX. Riled says you're not getting off that EDUIC starts to gain control of his evil spirit and uses his new power to slash off JX. Riled deal Riled, see that now you have done all and takes out a vial that contains some mysterious liquid and slashes it on Yelir as his evil spirit leaves his body and gets trapped in the vial. And with this Yelir collects it on the ground and wireless seeing this starts to control her evil spirit as well and shrinks down to her normal height and spawns right out to above the racetrack and throws her sword and breaks the vial, and then the spirit escapes and then goes into JX Riled and starts to force her to choke herself as she spawns a portal and forces JX Riled into the portal, and JX Riled goes through the portal and lands unconscious but still alive on her throne, and then the spirit leaves her body and goes back into the portal and then goes back into Yelir's body and goes in and transforms him back into her female self and powers down back to normal. With Riley seeing this as she too powers jump back to normal and stares at Yelir to see what she'll do next as she says you won the battle but this has only just begun as she spawns a race car and enters the race car and parks it at the start line and tells Riley let's race to see who the better racer is. As Riley accepts and spawns a race car and enters the race car and parks it right in front of the start line, and with that they will start lining up both their engines as they were getting ready to race to the planets full of Cieli, and as they were getting ready JX Riled woke up and spawned in front of them and said well that was close but you build and press me so I wanna see how this goes down, and with that she yells,
about hot water, they stay so cool and quick. Jumps and loops they conquer with no time to waste. In this race of flames they're unstoppable, a great race. Underwater they dive, geysers hiss and steam. Turns of fire and water they navigate with team. Obstacles block their path, but they find their way through the race of flames. They never let their feet stray. Race of flames, we're burning bright through the fire and the heat. We fight. Yelir and Riley, we're on the rise. In this fiery race, we'll never compromise. Every loop and jump, they're one step ahead. In this race of flames, they're the speed they need. No obstacle too big, no challenge too tall. Together they run and they never fall. They push through the heat with hearts full of fire. In this race of flames, they're the winners, no liar. Through the flames and smoke, they see the light. Yelir and Riley, they've reached the end of the night. Race of flames, we're burning bright through the fire and the heat. We fought. Yelir and Riley, we're on the rise. In this fiery race, we'll never compromise. We'll never compromise. We'll never compromise. We'll never compromise as we agree to keep racing till the very end. Till the very end. Till the very end. Till the very end. Until Riley crossed the finish line first. And with that JX Riled said you lost again. Well, I guess you know what that means. And she says, wait, I have one more trick up my sleeve. And she transforms into a giant and commands Riley to do the same. And she too turns into a dragon and they both soar up into the skies and fly to Caracciolo and star. In the skies of Caracciolo, we soar so high. Riley as a dragon, Yelir too. We fight for the sky. Pressures intense over Caracciolo sea. Ash from the flames as we breathe fire, we're free. Through the clouds we dive, through the storm we glide. Wings spread wide as we face our demise. Caracciolo's ocean where flames do abide. Turn everything to ashes in the heat inside. In the skies of Caracciolo we soar Yelir too will fight for the sky. Pressure's intense over Caracciolo sea. Ash from the flames as we breathe fire, we're free. Through the wheels we fly, through the fires we die. In this world of chaos we'll find our side. Caracciolo's ocean where flames do abide. Turn everything to ashes in the heat inside. In the skies of Yelir we soar so high. Rise as a dragon, Yelir too, we fight for the sky. Pressure's intense over Caracciolo sea. Ash from the flames as we breathe fire, we're free.
We're free, we're free, we're free to fight in full power and go beyond our limits as keep flashing our wings together and grinding our claws together and slapping each other with our spiky tails and breathing fire frost at each other until Riley riles up her heat and makes her fire become hotter and hotter until it burns right through Yellie's frosty glass and burns him so bad that he quickly becomes very tired after fighting with all the pain she is enduring and falls out of the sky and collapses on the ground and transforms back into herself as shade. Zerzulana walked up to her and said, well, please strike Shogari, it's time to die and never exist again. But just as she was about to finish her off, Riley slips in and lands on the ground. Then Jake transforms back into herself and walks closer to Jade. Zerzulana, and after her finally could drag Yelir into the void with her tail and Jade. Zerzulana was surprised by her question and said, well, why not? She's going there anyway, but how do you plan on getting there? Riley says, well, like this, she charges up with special move, the riled up, pressurized charcoal bomber as she screams.
She screams, she screams, as she screams, as she screams, as she screams, screams. As she fires her blast right at Jake Zerzulana, and Jake Zerzulana takes out her staff and blocks it with her staff. But Riley's not done as she goes at full power and goes beyond her limits and transforms into her evil spirit form. Riley Axia and goes into her control state and commands her spirit to travel through the blast and go into Jake Zerzulana's mind and force her to give me the staff and lets that Riley's spirit leaves her body and travels through the blast and enters into chill with Zerzulana's mind. And after that forces her to choke and get hit by the blast as it cracked her orb on her staff as it spawned a portal that looked like Jay Zerzulana's galaxy. Like after the orb on her staff cracked, it fell on the ground and then Jay Zerzulana got hit by the blast, which sent her into the portal and sent her flying onto her soul as she landed on her throne, unconscious but still alive once again. As Riley walked up to the staff and fixes the orb, he stabs Yelir with her sword and kills her in one strike. He starts dragging her by her sword until she gets to the beginning of Caracciolo's ocean, and she tastes Yelir right on the beach. And then she swam into the water and went underneath the water and swam to the bottom and spawned a black hole with the help of the step that leads to the void.
And then Riley started to grow infinitely to 10,000 feet tall and emerged out of the riled up pressure within Caracciolo's ocean and lifted her tail, grabbed Yelir with her tail and dragged Yelir into the void and then threw her as far as Riley could, and Yelir flew across the void until landing on the platform that is Joxie's and Castle Island as Yelir collapses on the platform and awaits until
a shadowy soulless figure approaches Yelir and wraps her mermaid tail around Yelir until it completely ties her up in a big scaly knot. And then she drags Yelir inside Joxie's castle as Riley saw this and knew it was over for now. And then she closed the portal with her gigantic bare hands and then stood up with her head above the water and swam to Caracciolo's beach and then shrank down to her normal height.
and she began to walk away. She walked away, she walked away, away, away from the battlefield, from the battlefield, from the battlefield, being known as the most authoritative brave. Celestial, decorative, efficient, flexible, gorgeous, hell-bent, intelligent, deep squeeze, kindred, loving, majestic, nurturing, optimistic, Polish, quirky, well, sophisticated, talented, unbeatable, versatile, wise, expectorious, youthful, zealous knights in the story of the Nificate, Organizor, C. Riley, and her friends Madison, M. Ashley, G. Aiden, Lori, Hillary, Alexander, Abby, C. Zachary, L. Jackson, Jared, Amy, Havana, and Mentaka will face up against Shane, Social Line, and their doppelgangers one last time. That Kirby, Yasha, Yelir, Lega, Elo, Perle, Onyx, Alexander, Dulcidam, Anava, Japan, Yava, Yuraka, Zima, and Nikai, and battle them to the death, to the death, to the death, in their battles of fate, in their battles of fate, in their battles of fate, battles of fate, battles of fight. Fa, 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 at, in the land of the Knights of Cadragoni.
In the land of the Knights of Cadragoni.